morning, everybody. Good Wednesday morning. It is the 5th of June. So glad you're out there tuned in to this, the 2 best hours of local live talk radio right here in East Mississippi and West Alabama. Coming to you on, yes, the good old-fashioned frequency modulation waves of 102.1 FM. And, of course, don't forget you can check us out on all kinds of ways, all kinds of avenues like WALT, Meridian.com. Stream us right into your office. Or we also, don't forget the app. You can just download the WALT app on your device and be all ready to listen to talk radio 24 hours a day on your phone or your laptop or your iPad. All kinds of ways. Thank you for being here, by the way. I'm Roger B. Say hi to. Here he is. Say hi to Rob Atkinson.
Good morning.
How you doing, sir?
Doing good.
All right, doing good. He's off on a good start today.
Hump day.
It is that. Hey, Mike, how you doing? And, of course, say hi to, he does bring a little bit of intelligence to the studio here. Say,
right.
I didn't say a lot. I didn't say a lot.
A very little bit.
Charles Frazier.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good to see you, gentlemen. It's been 22 hours since I've seen you, gentlemen. Hope you had a good ride on the earth during that last spin.
Yeah.
All right, that's good.
Sure, yeah.
I think it
My
like
seatbelts were fastened.
I think it'd be like the president just put a lid on the day. How about that?
The president's going to do what?
Yeah, he put a lid on his day once he got to France. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to put a lid on the day. So
Okay. Going to put a lid on the day.
You screw the lid down? How does that work?
I'm done.
What lid are we talking?
That would be.
I'm thinking more like a garbage can lid. One of those you step on it and the lid goes
Pickle
up
jar
and then it goes
lid.
down.
Here we are. We're
Seal?
rapidly approaching the 80th anniversary of the forces, the Allied forces landing in France,
Yeah,
and that's a day to celebrate.
it is.
I mean, to acknowledge anyway. I mean that was huge for our country and for the advance of the war against the Nazis there in Europe. So. That's that. I guess that's come up. Is it the 7th? Is that the actual
Tomorrow,
6th?
yes.
Just tomorrow. It's right here. We're at the door.
We are knocking on it. Let us in.
So that's why he put a lid on the rest of the day, because he has to be in full strength for tomorrow. So
He's going to have to give a 20-minute speech somewhere,
Which no one will understand anyway, but it's okay.
But I signed an executive order.
put a lid on the day.
No.
Now, where did you get that term? Put a lid on the day. Which agency was reporting that?
That's what the White House calls it. Putting
That was the official term. We're putting a lid on the day.
Yeah.
Well, that they used to have wonderful terms like circle back and things like that. So they're saying put a lid on the day.
Never heard of that. In that context.
That might be actually something I use one of these days.
I mean, put a lid on it.
Well,
it's kind
guys,
of like a way to be quiet. Hey, put a lid on it.
Put a lid on it.
Maybe that's what they were telling it. Joe's just going to be quiet from now on.
Yeah, we put.
It's about time.
Might be a good idea.
Put a lid on Joe.
What they didn't say is they really said we put a lid on the president so he wouldn't say anything until he has a speech. Oh, mercy. But what a privilege, though, to be able to stand out there. I recommend it, folks. I did have the privilege, and I've mentioned this before, but I'll say it again. I've had the privilege to visit Normandy and kind of walk those beaches and kind of visit the sites and kind of walk around and through the craters that were left by the, I guess, the shelling that was done to try to, as they said, soften up the defense.
I like that. Soften them up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily.
Heal from Nazis.
That's kind of what they were trying to do.
Meant, but yeah.
Get him.
So just a very, and it's still fairly kind of, rural and peaceful along that area of France, and it's just a nice place to visit. So if you ever get a chance, anyone, just do it. Make that. In fact, if you had a choice between going to Paris or going to Normandy, I'd say go to Normandy. Yeah, people saying, yeah, right.
I've been to Paris.
Of course,
Never
probably
Normandy, but anyway.
probably you're going to have to go to Paris to get to Normandy anyway. So, well, anyway, that's good that we're going to acknowledge that. That's a very important, historic, something that we need to remember in America. Another thing that's important to remember, fellas, is when that rock peck it's going to run if you don't fix it, you better go to A&A Glass pretty quick.
That's the only place to go. The #1 glass replacement company here in town for 10 years running. I think they know what they're doing at this
10
point.
years in a
Adam
row.
and Adam got it going on at 217 22nd Avenue, also called Seal Award.
Calhoun!
Parkway, you know it. Just 2 doors down from the Meridian Children's Museum. Whether it is just one of those little cracks that will develop into a big one, they can fix that, or when it's developed into the bigger one because you didn't go see an A&A on time, then they can replace the entire windshield. They're fast, friendly, and their T-shirts are great. Go see them. A&A Glass, 217 22nd Avenue. Give them a call, 601-693-GLASS. Open 8 to 4, Monday through Friday.
Oh, yeah, very good. All right, so the president's going to France. What's topping the new? How's Hunter? Where's he going?
No, we're doing something
Hopefully
about
jail,
the border.
man.
We're doing something about the border.
What are we doing? What are
He signed an executive order.
for the border?
Remember,
the border
though,
order.
it's an election year.
Oh, is it? I hadn't even noticed.
And
Crazy.
let's note that he waited 5 months before the election.
Yes.
It's odd timing.
And let's notice that he didn't seal off the border. He's just saying that they're going to limit the number of illegals. We're going to let illegals in. We're just going to limit the number, but wink, wink, not really.
It's kind of like putting a patch on a leak, but just when you get the patch on it, you kind of put a big little hole in the middle of the patch. It's still leaking.
We put it on half the leak. Yeah. It's a big gash. Like,
I'm just
You know.
picturing Chevy Chase in Vegas Vacation putting the
The
bubble gum on
That's
that.
what exactly it is.
Is this the bubble gum on the
I was
leak
thinking
of the
more
dam?
of like if you could stick a patch over part of the tear on the Titanic.
Okay,
You know?
there you go.
It's still going down, so anyway.
Captain, we've got a gash in the side of the ship. Get some duct tape. That'll hold.
No, what's
it
the
works for everything.
I'm sorry, it hasn't been invented yet.
Yeah.
What's the infomercials? The guy with the flex tape or
Oh,
whatever.
yeah.
Like he's putting the leak on the tape on the boat or whatever. He's like,
Look, we sawed this entire boat in half. We put this tape on.
yeah, it's not
Can't
gonna
wait to see
work.
that happening.
Well, I guess
It's kind of like the cheap version of that tape. It's not going to work as good.
Yeah.
I guess Biden could say, yeah, we've sawed this entire country in half, and it's
Gee whiz.
not coming
Maybe
back
put
together.
the flex tape on the border. We put enough of it up there. I don't know.
It's crazy, but
Make a wall out of the flex tape.
I guess the question,
we could just make a wall.
Be great.
the serious question that comes from that is what will that make a difference to the Democrat supporters in the November election?
Well, I mean, he still has, mostly progressives on that far left side that are still criticizing the executive order because of a lot of different issues they have with the There's a lot of different complex parts of what he signed yesterday, but obviously the big number is 2,500.
Well,
that's the number that keeps coming up because what is it like? That's the cap or whatever. But
That is the cap.
Yeah.
But the whole thing is then, so you can stop them, and you're just choosing not to, and you're going to let 1 million in a year now. I mean, basically, it's 900 and change. So I think it actually is worse for him, because it's showing that he can stop it, but that he chooses not to completely stop it, but just turn the faucets down a little bit. And, most people have the problem is not with, the numbers is of course an issue, but it's all the people we're letting through and not vetting. And now all of a sudden we're just stopping it at a random number that we decided upon.
Yeah, Biden signed a proclamation that will temporarily suspend the entry of non-citizens across the southern border once the number of average border encounters exceeds 2,500 a day over 7 days.
So let me give you the the illustration that kind of best describes what he's doing there. Your local bank says, all right, we're going to allow 200 people to crash in the bank and try to steal money. But after that 200, we're really going to shut these doors down and we're going to chase you out and then we're going to bring the police in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that a fair analogy?
Yeah, the order also includes a number of exceptions for those coming across the border. It will not apply to visa holders, unaccompanied children, victims of a quote-unquote severe form of trafficking, as well as those who face an acute medical emergency or an imminent threat to life or safety. So there's all of these different parts that it doesn't apply here, or that. Well,
But listen to what that is saying.
I know.
What that is saying is we have been letting in all of those who are, all these that are dangerous, these that are lawbreakers. But we're going to change that now. We've made a decision here in the administration that we just don't think it's a good idea to let those who could be terrorists to come in our country. We've been letting them in. We're going to, we've done that. It's really an admission. More than it is a prevention of a law breaking.
Well, what's laughable about it is he's there in the White House yesterday, behind the podium, making a big speech about it, and he's going to sign the executive order. And they have two monitors, one on each side of the podium behind him, and they say the big words, "securing our border." I mean. You have to chuckle at that a little bit.
Well, I just want to say, as a spokesman for Walmart, we're going to crack down on shoplifting once each day. Once the shoplifting value reaches $100,000,
that's right.
We're going to crack down, and we're going to make sure that people are not shoplifting from this store per day.
So you just got to go early. Is really what it is. Shoplift early.
And
So if you're crossing the
early
border,
thief gets the.
If you're crossing the border, you got to make sure you're one of the first couple of.
And this is one of the big. And this is one of the big quotes from yesterday from the president. He says, "Today I'm moving past Republican obstruction." There was never any Republican obstruction, sir. You could have signed an executive order at any moment, so. It was kind of left in your hands the whole time.
Oh, but you got to remember the Democrat strategy. It is controlling the language.
Controlling the headlines and the narrative.
That's it. And they have been masters at that, by the way. They have been masters at controlling the language, controlling the headlines, and all the rest. So, and, not to say that Republicans haven't maybe done their part of it as well, but not to the success and the level of the Democrats.
Yeah, the speaker, he says the executive order does nothing with catch and release. It continues the administration's abuse of the CBP One app. So that was also brought up in the executive order that the order also does not apply to those seeking entry to the U.S. via ports of entry using the CBP One app, of which 1,500 migrants are allowed in each day. So it's like just a little bit at a time, So, but yeah, this will stay in effect until 14 days after there has been a 7-day average of less than 1,500 encounters along the border. Officials said it would make it easier for immigration officers to quickly remove individuals who do not have a legal basis to remain in the U.S. So, all of this confusing language in the executive order. So.
I can just see the next meeting of the Border Patrol. All right, men and women, we're glad you're here. We're going to issue you a new piece of equipment. I know that you have your firearm, you've got your taser, you've got all your vests, your helmets, you've got everything you need. Now, we're going to introduce to you the counter, the clicker. You just push this button every time you see somebody come through and count how many people are coming in the country. So everybody got your little counter? Good. Okay. That's government issue. Don't lose it.
Unbelievable.
Click, click. Have you seen people do it? Where have I seen people do that before? They're kind of counting, I guess if you go into a function like maybe a county fair or something, they have a little clicker.
Oh, yeah.
See how many people are coming in?
Yeah, Stephen Miller, who served as the senior White House official during the Trump administration, said that this whole thing, he highlighted the Biden administration is currently allowing thousands of migrants a week via ports of entry, and also talked about, they always have a court hearing. They always give them a court date. Well, if they don't have a place to put them in a detention center or anywhere like that along the border, they're going to give them that court date, but they're not going to show back up for that.
They're just like 10 years down the road?
Yeah, they're going to cut them loose, and and that date is so far down the road. Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Well, what gets me is that they have, in one of the articles, it says, when the crossings exceed a daily average of 2,500 over the course of a week, the president will have the authority. Right.
Who's keeping up with this?
Yeah, and how they're coordinating that.
Yeah.
How many you got? I got 47 over here.
How many you got over there in Eagle Pass?
All right, 47 plus 20.
We've already reached 2,500.
My clicker broke.
All right, so we'll have the authority to shut down the border in between ports of entry. Once the shut down the border is in effect, DHS Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas can reopen the border once average crossings have fallen below. Wait. Okay, so the border is shut down, but they can reopen the border once the average crossings number has fallen below 1,500. So if people are crossing the border border's not shut down. I don't know.
I mean,
I'm a little confused about the shutdown of the border, and we're still allowing people
I
to come
can't
over.
wait to see Trump's explanation of this and his rebut to this, because he's gonna make as much fun of it as we've made it and more, and make it sound much more entertaining than we've done it this morning. How crazy that is. Our number here at Mornings in Meridian is 601-485-9191, 601-485-9191. Love to hear from you. Give us a call. Good morning, caller. Welcome to our show. All right, the Wolf Man. How you doing there, Mr. Gray Wolf?
I'm all right. This thought goes out to the friends and family and supporters of Joe Biden, and they wonder why we have such animosity. And the fact that they think that we should think this is okay, or that we should think they're okay for them thinking this is okay. And let me get to my point. Outside of what y'all just discussed with Joe Biden and the border, let's look at Donald Trump and his children, and then Joe Biden and his children.
Oh.
And Joe Biden is going to clearly say he is very proud of his son. Are you kidding me? How can the evidence of what Hunter's done, and not that all of it he's being arrested for or charged for or whatever, the gun possession, he lied on a form. He is a liar, and Joe Biden is proud of that. Why? Because Joe Biden himself is a liar. I can't do anything about the border. I had to fix what Donald Trump, he had to fix it, is what he called it when he reversed all the orders. And now that he's underwater in the polls, he magically overcomes obstruction that never existed and expects us to believe that's the truth? Ooh. All right.
I love
Good luck
it.
with that, boys.
We know we got you fired up this morning. It's kind of interesting that really, if you interpret what is being done there, the White House is signaling, through smoke signals, that, yes, we acknowledge the fact that our candidate is losing this election.
Yeah, but they knew that months ago. I mean, honestly, did they really think putting a man in who doesn't know where he is and trips upstairs and can't get a sentence out?
I don't know what cocktail they've given him now, though.
He's going to do great for this country.
It's like they pointed out. My father-in-law and I were talking the other day, and we're observing that early on in his administration, he was tripping up the stairs and falling off of bikes. And I don't know what kind of steroid cocktail they've given him now. He's actually doing pretty good. They propped him up pretty good.
Yeah, but only for 15 minutes.
Well, that's why they put the lid on him. He's had that make that long trip to France, so they can put the lid on it for the day.
Just wait till June 27th when we have the first debate between Biden and Trump. He'll have the extra strength cocktail that night.
It'll be a fresh infusion before he goes into that.
It'll be the same one he had during the what was his last State of the Union address.
So, not that one again.
Extra starch in his shirt to make him stand up straight.
Makes him yell a little bit.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, it's riding that bicycle in Rehoboth. Rehoboth, or what's the name of that town in Delaware?
Rehoboth, I think it is. But anyway,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter.
It does matter. I mean, to the people that live there, I guess.
There's like 4 people live in Delaware.
But strange.
All right, boys, y'all have a good day. I'm headed on to my other duties.
Oh,
Are
your
you-
job. Man,
Are you going to your real job today?
All day.
All right.
day.
All right, sir. Well, thanks for checking in with us, sir. All right.
All right. Peace out.
All right. Gray Wolf checking in there, letting us know what's going on in his world. It's interesting. Yeah, it's they're supporting their son. They're standing by him because guess what? They probably have a little hint that maybe just maybe he is not going to be treated in court like President Trump was treated in court.
Oh, well, they had Miranda Devine on Fox News. Of course, she's been following Hunter's, life. She's wrote books about the laptop and everything like that, which that's been introduced in court already. But she has said between just the judge alone in these two cases, because we all know how the judge Mershon was to Donald Trump and the defense team in that particular trial. But they said the judge in this one in Delaware has been very, very fair to both sides.
Last night, last evening, of course, was a regular meeting with the Brain Trust, and one of them included assistant DA, and the question came up, of course, how do you think things were handled in New York, in the Trump case? And the assistant DA said, got news for you, gentlemen. That would not happen down here in Mississippi.
No.
He said, when they're about to send the jury off for deliberation, it says the judge gives the defense and the prosecution the rules for the jury so that they go over with the jury how things are to go in the discussion of the case, and then they carry the instructions with them in the jury so that they can have those printed copies to refer to as they deliberate.
Yep.
Sure.
Yep.
And when you learn more about how things are done there versus how things are done normally in the courtroom, you realize just really what a kangaroo court and what a sham this was for Donald Trump.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, we've got a caller on the line. Good morning, caller. How are you?
It's rigged, I tell you. It's a hoax.
Okay, there it is. It's rigged and it's a hoax.
All right, y'all have a great day. I'm joking.
Well, now, Tambourine Man's checking in here. It's been a while. Glad you're having a good day to use that phone. Come on in here.
Yeah, guys. I'm going to play a devil's advocate whenever I say what I'm about to say, but it seems like Trump's got support. Don't get me wrong. He does. He's got support. People do support him. People show up to his rallies and stuff like that. People showed up to give, I don't know. I don't even want to call up that washed up actor's name, but some people showed up to give him a hard time. But anyways, it seems to me that we don't seem to have the rallying support in opposition to a lot of the things that have support. The things that seem to be popular, people put money behind it, and people show up. And by the thousands, they show up because the opposing side of us, they put up their money. And whenever they put up their money, they have these huge numbers of people that show up, no different than the BLM movement. There was a huge amount of money put up for those protesters. And people showed up for that because obviously there was money involved. People were getting paid to be there. But it seems like we rally from home, we cry from home, but then when it really comes down to going out and showing up and the squeaky wheel gets the grease, so to speak, nothing ever happens.
It's because we're all working.
Well, of course.
We're all employed. That's the problem.
Yeah, but like Alex Lewis, just say on a weekend. But there's still no money being put up for us to go and rally against these types of things physically. There's no people at the White House lawn lined up against the fences showing their support, I'd like to say, on the news. That's just not going to happen. But when it comes down to people wanting to kill babies, they'll show up by the thousands, and those people will be picketing somewhere. But then the opposition to that is that we don't do that. We rally from home, and we get on the airwaves, and we say what we need to say, but when it comes down to traveling across the country to show up to do it, to have opposition, we don't do that.
Well, the silent majority traditionally has expressed their opposition at the polling place, and
Which can't be trusted anymore.
And when you look at how many people did show up to support Donald Trump in the last election, a record number, might we add, still it wasn't quite enough to beat the liberal machine that was out there to saying, no, we're going to put Donald Trump in the corner.
Well, I think that the divide also comes down to emotion and intellect. I think the Democrats, the liberals, they really spark this emotional response. They're going to remove your democracy. They're going to, eliminate abortion. Whatever it is that
they're
doing.
Use fear a lot more.
It's not a good emotion,
efficiently.
that's for sure. But yeah, definitely. And I'd like to think the conservative movement tends to think about things and intellectualize them and say, okay, I agree with these positions because they make logical and reasonable sense.
All right, Rob, tell him what he's won. That's a good answer.
Yeah.
You win a cup of coffee out of the back. It'll take an hour.
You got one of those.
Give me an hour.
Give yourself an hour.
It'll take an hour.
All right, I'll be back in an hour.
It's
Great.
a 4
I get an hour
hour
off.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, well, I don't trust the machine anymore, you guys. You talk about going out and voting. I don't trust voting anymore. I mean, it's electronically done. It can be manipulated. I mean, I guess who could a paper count, but at the same time.
But we can't stop doing it. We can't use that as an excuse to stay out of the ballot.
Oh, no. I'm going to vote. I'm just saying I don't trust the vote anymore.
Well,
I don't trust it. I don't trust it. I mean, if it's electronically done, it can be hacked. It can be manipulated.
because if there's anything the left wants, is they want you to distrust it so much that you give up and don't show up to vote. That's what they want.
Absolutely not. I'm not going to distrust it that much. But I'm just
I will say this much. I've talked about on this program that Republicans need to embrace the ideas of mail-in voting and stuff like that. Well, President Trump and his camp are doing that because he just announced an initiative yesterday that the RNC is going to be introducing. It's called Swamp the Vote. It's a mail-in ballot initiative that the Republicans are working on.
Swamp the vote.
Swamp the vote is what it's called. I thought that was a brilliant term for President
love
Trump
it.
called Swamp the
I
Vote.
love it. Yeah, that's a good one.
It's catchy. Well, let's do it then. Let's mail everybody.
Yeah.
I heard it here first. Mail it in.
There it is. There you go. Well, listen, glad you're alive and well. It's I'm glad you're doing well and you're still out. Haven't had to return to rehab or anything. That's good.
No, boys. I don't see that happening today.
Okay, gotcha. Good to hear you.
All right, y'all have a good one.
See ya.
Yes, sir. 601-485-9191 put you right here. Good morning, caller. How you doing?
Hey, y'all, it's Paul.
Hey, Paul.
Good morning.
Hey, in reference to the last caller, I would argue that there have been situations where people protested. And unfortunately, what happens is because the justice system, here justice for liberals and conservatives, you see people who do that on the conservative side get targeted. I would mention the January 6th protest in January, when there's now an insurrection, right? There are people that are still in jail that's never seen a judge. There were people duped into being part of something that was made into something it wasn't. Why would you subject yourself to that? After you've done that, after you've been through the Tea Party and you've had a target painted on your back and you've been called everything in the book, why would you show up for that?
Well, you're sounding like you're speaking a little bit from experience because I think when the Tea Party was kind of strong, I think you were a large proponent of that.
I was, and I was targeted as well.
Wow.
I was called a racist in the newspapers and everything else. And,
really?
I wrote a response. Yes, and I wrote a response to it that pretty well eliminated that. But if you're not able to respond in a way that puts all of those questions to rest, why would you stand up and volunteer to be a target? That's kind of my point is, every time they do, that money that goes to raise those protesters then goes to pay for whatever shenanigans they want to do to start pointing fingers and put people in jail.
Yeah.
And so at the end of the day, who wants that? Stay at home.
I do admire what Trump's.
Besides that, keep your job and keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
And vote at the place.
I know one thing that Trump said in one of his in one of his discussions after being sentenced, not sentenced, but found guilty, if you will. He said, I could just go home, I could live a good life, and I could just forget about all this. He says, but I'm doing it because I love this country, and I just this could happen to anybody, but I'm here, and so I'm happy to fight this fight. Those are kind of a paraphrase, but that's what he said.
I'm not saying people shouldn't stand up and do the same thing and back him.
No, I'm just saying that's his take on it. Though I think I admire that.
Well, I mean, at this point, I guess he's thinking he can afford to take the hits and slings and arrows, and I'm glad somebody is, because what you end up with is Republicans who are mealy-mouthed and have no spine because they want to get along to get along. So that's the kind of situation we have. You got a guy who talks good at home, and you vote for him, you send him to Washington, and he folds up, like a tent. And so at the end of the day, you get so frustrated. It's just hard to want to speak out. I mean, in Hollywood, for example, if you want to know somebody's politics, find out who's being quiet. The people who are quiet are probably on our side.
Yeah, and they have to be
they
to
know
keep.
they'll never work again.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I don't say, I hate to use the word persecution, but at this point, if you've got the wrong opinion of things, you're persecuted. I mean, there's no two ways about it.
Well, Hollywood needs to kind of the folks in Hollywood that are conservative just need to kind of spin off and do like all the news media has done. Everybody choose their sides and have their camps, and we need to change the word from Hollywood to where would be a good place for conservatives to have a film and entertainment industry.
Meridian, Mississippi would be a good start.
Hey, we could have.
That'd be good for the economy, yeah.
What do they say in Meridian? Oh, yeah, that'd be good. Boy, yeah, Meridian's a big influence. Yeah, this would be. Yeah, how about that? Okay.
I mean, we got the transportation facilities to get the film out. So
we got plenty of land. We can build some studios.
We got high speed DSL internet here.
Mm-hmm. Got high speed internet. Won't y'all make movies over here?
That's all you need. High speed internet. We'll go there.
We got plenty of people willing to be extras.
I love it.
I'm not one of them because I got a face for radio, but
Oh, listen, I tell you what.
There are a bunch of characters here. You can get a lot of character actors.
Mm.
Don't you think Charles would look good in the movie?
But no.
Charles would.
No, would not.
Actually, Charles would. He would give good dialogue in the movie. He's he's well spoken, well read. He's well traveled.
Okay.
In fact, he's.
In a lot of movies though, you never see the owner of the restaurant. You always see the waiters.
That's right.
He would work well.
Perfect. That's what I like to see.
Work well as a waiter.
Yeah, I can do that. Anyway.
Well,
one thing about it, he could read the special off pretty good. He's good at that. Speaking of which, my wife and I had a wonderful meal there Friday night, Charles. Thank you so much for.
Well, it was great seeing you.
Helping us have a great celebration for her birthday. Thank you for that.
Well, good. Why don't you tell us how old she is?
I don't do that.
I was just testing you.
I'm sorry, you're breaking up, Roger.
Yep, exactly.
I was just testing. I knew he was smarter than that. I knew that.
Pass that test.
Good to hear you, PT.
All right, guys.
All right.
Talk to you later.
Thanks, Paul.
All right, in Mornings in Meridian, we do need to take breaks from time to time, and we're going to do that right now. So, because we have Bikers United for Children.
That's right.
And of course, and I'm looking at James Randall over there on the side, and he's a nice guy. I know that for a fact, but he just looks like it could hurt me. So I'm just going to make sure we take this break and take this break, and we'll be able to come back and talk about some more things. We'll talk about Bikers United for Children. How about that?
20% off plus a 10% senior or military.
Statler Brothers.
Hello, Mary Lou.
Every once in a while, you'll hear them sneak onto our sister station, 105.7.
The legend.
That's the one.
Sneak in the door.
Roger along with Rob and Charles.
As long as it's part of that 2,500, we're just fine.
That's
Sneaking across.
Sneaking across the
right.
border there.
Guy with a clicker.
2348. We got a couple hundred ones.
Want to wish Don Reed a very happy birthday of the Statler Brothers. He's 79 years old today on this, the 5th day of June. Let's see. Sly and the Family Stones. Freddie Stone is 77.
Okay.
How about that?
He's part of the Family Stone.
I guess he's part of the Family Stones. And, of course, Brian McKnight, 55 years old today. And let's see, Mark Wahlberg,
Hey.
Marky Mark.
53 years old
All right.
today. Happy birthday, Mark. And born on this day is the late Mexican War hero Pancho Villa,
Oh.
born in 1878. Yeah. His supporters seized hacienda land for distribution to peasants and soldiers. He robbed and commandeered trains. And like the other revolutionary generals, he printed fiat money to pay for his cause.
That's not bad.
That's not a bad idea.
Print money.
How about that?
Yeah.
Villa's men and the supporters became known as Villistas during the revolution from 1910 to 1920.
Villistas?
Villistas? They're
He's a Villester. Whoa.
Well, be
How many
careful.
crossed the border?
Yeah.
We won't get into that.
2,499. Oh, wait a minute. You're the last one.
Click.
One more. Who's it going to be?
I,
All right.
I can see somebody looking through a hole in the fence and say, okay, we can have one more. Is there one more out there? Okay,
Who's it
one
gonna
more
be?
can cross the
You
border
in the
now.
blue shirt. Come on over.
They're down there
With the
playing,
MS-13 tattoos.
playing rock, paper, scissors on the border.
We're so glad you're out there tuned in. Got to thank our sponsors like the good folks down there. Well, I'll tell you who's a good folk. I'm talking about Jeffrey Wilson.
Jeffrey.
Is he? I mean, when you talk about a good neighbor, he really is a good neighbor.
A good neighbor. You know he is.
Or that.
And a good folk.
Yes,
a
he
good
is.
folk. Can we say that?
We can say anything we want to, as long as it's not 7 words.
Much rather you
FCC
say,
compliant. That's what we are.
you can say that F word, not the other one.
All right, I'm not going to say. I'm just going to say Jeffrey Wilson. Well, here's the deal. When you combine your State Farm,
Hand on the button.
home, and auto insurance, you can save an average of $889.
Average.
Not too shabby. Could be more.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to go see Jeffrey Wilson. Of course, you can reach him at 601-483-8253 or go see him at his showroom, 2401 Highway 39 North. It's real important that you know your insurance agent because you got to sit down with him once a year and kind of figure out, do I need this insurance? Can I drop this one? And he'll kind of navigate those treacherous insurance waters with you. And he always wears khakis. You know, he's a great guy. You see him all over town. He is a good neighbor. Jeffrey Wilson. Like a good neighbor.
State Farm is there.
And Jeffrey Wilson's there, too.
Yep.
Hey,
Yeah.
there you go. Thank you, Jeffrey Wilson, for helping us out each morning.
He's a great guy.
All right, it's Mornings in Meridian. You know, we do have a guest here at the microphone, and want to say a big welcome to James Randall. Thank you for being here today, sir.
Thank you for having me.
And we've got a caller on the line, so we're going to take this call, and then we're going to get to you, if that's okay.
That's great.
Is it okay, sir?
It is.
He's in a uniform, and I'm going to make sure I give that due respect there. Support the men and women in uniform.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. All right, caller, good morning. Welcome to our show.
Hey, good morning, y'all. Good morning. Good
Speaking
morning to all.
of Poncho, Lefty's checking in here this morning.
Well, I got the follow-up shot yesterday to my shingles shot, and
The follow-up shot to your shingles shot. Shingles
it's
doesn't
a
care.
booster shot. You get it
Yeah.
a couple months after you get your initial shingles, and my little arm hurts. I'm telling you, I'm like, oh no.
Did you have it shot in your injured arm or your good arm?
Good arm.
Oh, now you're totally
Yeah, good
useless.
I might have been born at night, but it wasn't last night. Like, no, don't give me that one in that arm. No.
I never went back for my second one. I guess I don't know. I just never did. I guess that's a bad thing. I don't know.
You don't want to get shingles, Daddy. I can tell you.
No, I understand
Don't
that.
want to get But anyway, I just wanted to comment. You said you went to Normandy, Roger, and
Yes.
that's on my bucket list.
Oh,
And,
please do. Please do. Yeah.
You know, that's got to be something to see. All those crosses, and I don't know how many men died, but that had to be very sobering.
Well, in the group.
It really hit home with me was Saving Private Ryan.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
And,
that's the
I'm like,
cemetery
man.
that they're in there. That's the one we visited there, and It's
wow.
of course, you get to see so much. You get to go out on the beach and kind of see where they actually landed, and it's just interesting. That even seems like it's kind of quiet and peaceful out there, other than the sound of the ocean. But that's almost like holy ground. You just kind of so somber there. But you go to the cemetery where so many are buried. I think 4,000 plus. While we were there, there was in our group. They asked for veterans who it was in the evening, and they were asking for any veterans who might volunteer to take the flag down. They had this big, tall flagpole, and so a couple in our group volunteered to do that. And by the time it was over and taps was played, there wasn't a dry eye in the group.
I bet.
It was just amazing. So no, if you get a chance to go to Normandy, that's a great stop. No question about it.
The other thing I wanted to comment on is, how could anybody really raise Cain about the word MAGA? I mean, why would you not want to make America great again? I don't get it. I just don't get it. But,
again.
And the last thing I could think
well,
of, Roger,
you asked a question, so we're going to give you the answer. Remember what we said earlier. If you're listening on the show, the Democrats and the left, particularly, they are very good at taking the language and spinning it for their benefit. So they've taken "Make America Great Again" because it's abbreviated as MAGA, and they have turned that into something bad because of somebody who would want to charge the Capitol, somebody who wants to disrupt democracy, put that spin on it. So they're masters at taking the language and spinning it and using it for their advantage.
with a lot of help from the press.
Oh, they do need that, don't they? They do need the press to be on their side. Oh, good observation. Well, all right, what was your...
If that was a real coup,
yeah.
How come everybody there didn't have a weapon?
You mean wait a minute. Wait. You mean Ashley Babbitt? Ashley Babbitt, who got shot there at the Capitol by somebody. I mean,
that's just been conveniently forgotten, though.
Did she didn't have a weapon on her? She wasn't threatening anybody's life or anything?
Nope. I don't think so.
Interesting. Okay, I'm glad you mentioned that, by the way.
Well, the last thing I wanted to comment on was...
Don't forget Ashley Babbitt.
Why don't any of these spineless wonders in the press stand up and say, Mr. Biden or President Biden, why don't you just put into place what was working for the border? And the problem would be solved, wouldn't it?
Well, I think if Americans will remember what was working, hope they'll remember that in November.
I kind of fault the Mexican government for letting all those people stay there and just, they're about as much help as fleas on a dog. Unless you threaten them with something and hold them accountable, they're just going to, they're not going to do anything but just let them come on across.
Let's see. Let's make a decision. Do we keep all these people on this side of the border and take care of them here, or just let them cross? We'll just let them cross.
Yeah. Kind of a no-brainer, I guess. But
well, you also have the dynamic of cartels that are involved. There's this
they got enough problems down there, but yeah, you're right. They should.
Yeah.
Or do you put a fence to keep people in? Then you're looking at Soviet era stuff.
Before I go, did you get to look out over the beach from any of those German pillboxes where they had the machine guns and everything?
Yeah, visited one of the gun turrets. I guess is still there. I was able to go up and see that. That was kind of, it's interesting because my 17-year-old son, he was that age at the time when we visited, and it was just realizing, as he was climbing on the turret and running in and out of the big craters that were left by the shelling. I said, man, these guys were these guys were his age and just slightly older. And it just that brought tears to my eyes when I thought about that.
I've never understood how any of those guys survived that machine gun fire. I mean, all you had to do is just mow them down when they got off the boats. Mm-hmm. They pretty much did, but I guess they had enough to where they finally gained a foothold. But it just seemed like it'd be shooting fish in a barrel.
Sometime when I get the nerve again, I'd like to watch Saving Private Ryan. because I think that probably did one of the best jobs of bringing reality to the landing event.
I think it was the best. I think that was the best movie ever made. And that's saying something, but because there's been a lot of good ones, but that was so realistic. And that's been over, 20 years ago with those special effects. I still don't see how they did some of those special effects. I mean, it was just too real for,
it was.
You really couldn't be squeamish to watch that movie.
It was definitely real. I mean, I've never been in battle, but I'm just saying, to me, I can only imagine this is about as close as it is to what it was like when those gates went down on those landing craft. Yep. Hey, good call. Thanks for checking in with us.
Y'all have a good one. I'm listening in.
And if you get shingles, you call me. Let me know.
I sure don't want to get them, buddy, because I heard there's something else.
Oh, I've heard that too. Talked to somebody who had them for like 3 months. It's like, oh, okay. Well, listen, thanks for the call. Appreciate it.
All right. See y'all later. Bye-bye.
Bikers United for Children. James, thank you for your patience, sir.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
And of course,
y'all had me here.
Oh, I'll tell you what, glad to have you here. And of course, what a great event, because now you're usually here around Christmas time. Rob, am I remembering that right? Yeah. That he's usually here around Christmas time. But correct. Because it's Bikers United, it's the toy run usually around Christmas.
Yes, that was our original. Our original goal was to basically raise money and toys for Wesley House to fill their needs during Christmas time, and we've. As a committee, we decided that it was brought to our attention that their food banks, become empty throughout the year, and we decided to start a second event and around June, and it's our food run.
Ah, so I can see where the food run. Yeah, that's an important thing. Toys and food. So tell me how this works and when does it work? When does it happen?
I'd like to say the first way it works is most of us open our pantry door and we say, what do we want to eat? And there's a lot of people out there that open that door and say, do I have anything to eat? So that's the biggest key to this. When you walk to into one of these grocery stores that's sponsored with us, and you see our donation boxes, you don't have to spend a whole lot. You can just pick up an extra $5 worth of canned goods and throw them in that box, and that goes a long way. Because we all know, 1 or 2 cans at a time, multiply. And, that's what we're asking for the community to do. So we do have 6 grocery stores that sponsor with this, and we've got Big G Supermarket in Decatur. We've got the Pilgrim's Food Liner in DeKalb, and then we got Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville and Stonewall, Cash Saver here in Meridian, and Bowles in Philadelphia. So if you go to any one of those stores, you'll see our donation boxes, and there's a list of items that's on the top of the box, kind of the suggested non-perishable items, but you can buy whatever your heart is led to do and just leave it in that donation box.
Now, James can't say this, guys, but there used to be like a couple of extra dollars of canned goods. But because of Bidenomics, it's like $5 a canned goods. That's just
right.
But James can't say that. I'm just saying it for him. Stores.
Yeah.
So Cash Savers here in Meridian, it's Cash Savers. Is that the place?
That's correct.
Yep. All right. So you have Cash Savers here, Val's in Philadelphia, and then Piggly Wiggly, Collinsville, and
Stonewall.
Oh yeah, cool.
So you go in and there's a box and it has a list of things that they want to purchase or they do want to purchase. Green beans in a can. Yeah. Okay. Go pick up one of those and throw it in the box. Well,
very
pay
good.
for it and then put it in the box.
Yeah,
don't just put it in the box. Yeah, you got to actually pay for it.
But now this is a toy run, so it involves a motorcycle. So what's the motorcycle event involved with this?
So, I've been involved with the biker community for quite a long time now. And what we've done is, typically you would do a poker run or something like that, have 5 different stops and, pull cards. So we kind of created what we call a scavenger hunt. It's more of a scavenger hunt. And so we've given you this list of 6 grocers that's partnered with us. We give you about 4 different lists to choose from, and you choose your own route. You choose a buddy that you want to ride with. If you want to ride by yourself, if you want to ride with your buddies, pick your own route, decide which direction you want to go. And if you actually do the whole route and visit all 6 stores, you put in a ride about 160 miles. And So the way it works is they're
It's
going
a
to
fun afternoon.
So they're going to show up at College Park Methodist Church on Saturday morning. Our registration time is from 10 to 11. KSU up at 11. Last bike in is at 3. So what you do is you take this list that's worth about $25, and once you purchase that list, you can buy those groceries, leave your bags in the donation boxes, bring your receipt back to the church. If you don't want to make it back to church, you can actually text it to us, and we can see that if you text that receipt and a picture at that box, we'll enter you into the drawing. And this year, our grand prize drawing is actually 2 tickets to see Wayne Newton and a $100 gift card to Amore. So, dinner and entertainment, kind of giving back.
Wow, yeah.
And,
okay.
I don't know how many people are Wayne Newton fans, but I don't think you have to be a Wayne Newton fan to see a legend.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And then our second prize.
Catch him while you can, huh?
Yeah, right. He's about 104 now, so.
Yeah. And we do have a second prize, and that's going to be.
He would say dunk a shame.
He would say dunk a shame. And many times, I'm sure he will.
I'm sorry, we interrupted a very important piece of data.
Our second prize is actually a one-night stay at Silver Star Golden Moon, and then a dinner for 2 at Philip M's, and that's about $150 value there. So as long as you're kind of conservative, hold back on a few drinks, I think that $150 will get you a good meal.
Okay.
And the way it works is actually the 25 gets you 1 entry, and every $10 over that 25, you get a second entry.
Nice.
And you don't have to be present to win.
Mm-hmm.
And anybody that is not part of the biker community sees one of these boxes and you spend that 25, you can text that receipt and picture at that box. And you can find all this information out, phone numbers, contact. If you want to read more into it, just go to the Facebook page, Bikers United for Children.
All right.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now.
And by the way, folks, KSU stands for Kick Stands Up. When he said KSU at 11, it was Kick Stands Up. Yep. There you go. Oh, look at that.
A lot of acronyms.
There's a good graphic there. Bikers United for Children food run for the Wesley House, Saturday, June 8th. That's excellent. Excellent. Yep. All right. Well, folks, let's, if you're like me, just go ahead and get the bike out and wash the dust off, air up the tires, check everything, make sure it's safe, and get involved. Yeah. That'd be great.
And there's no rain this Saturday, so you won't have to rewash it when you get home.
There you go.
No.
The rewash.
That is the most frustrating thing about washing a bike, isn't it? Knowing that
a lot of chrome.
I'm going to go riding, and if I just hit a little tiny wet spot in the road, you're wiping it down at the end. That's great. Well, I tell you what, excellent. Again, Bikers United, good group here in our town, and a good, fun way to help out the children of our area. So, excellent, sir. Good job.
All right.
And so, folks, take advantage of that. And is there a website where they can go on and see this?
We don't have an official website, just the Facebook page.
Just the Facebook page.
Yeah,
okay.
The Facebook page is Bikers United for Children is the name of the Facebook
Spelled
page.
out for F-O-R?
Yeah, F-O-R.
Okay,
yeah.
gotcha.
Yeah,
All
Bikers
right.
United for Children. You can get, like I said, James, there's phone numbers on there. A lot of details along with that graphic we just showed on our camera here on Facebook Live. But yeah, it's all right there. So,
all right. James Randall, Bikers United for Children, thank you for being here, sir.
Thanks for having me.
And we'll join Fox News and come back afterwards.
The battle is viewed.
taking care of business.
Sort of.
Sort of. That's the voice of Rob Atkinson.
That's right.
Wait a minute. No. That is the voice of Tuscaloosa Ted.
How you doing this morning?
Tuscaloosa Ted, welcome. How are things during this off season for Alabama?
Well, we're taking a vacation this weekend.
Are you?
Is there ever an off season for Alabama?
Where are you going to go,
We're
Ted?
going to Tuscaloosa.
Tuscaloosa Ted's going to Tuscaloosa for vacation. What you going to do up there?
Oh, we're going to camp outside the stadium.
Do they allow you to do that?
Well, they do for me. I got a pass.
You got a pass?
Camping pass.
How do you get a camping pass like that?
Lifetime pass. Nick gave it to me.
Nick gave it to me.
I don't know why that tickled you so much.
You can get me with Tuscaloosa Ted there. Good Bama fan.
Oh,
so can we say roll tide?
No, we
by the way, speaking of Alabama, it won't be long before we have Alabama football back here on the station.
That's right.
So it might be good that you're mentioning that. Anyway, we got a caller on the line. Please hold. We are going to. Charles is in the house, by the way.
Oh yeah. All right. Okay. Over here in the corner. Yeah. Don't forget about me.
Yay, Charles!
Put a name tag on.
And of course, we want to remind folks that to find a good deal on an automobile is just a short drive up the road to Philadelphia, where you go to Doc's Toyota.
That's right. Highway 16 West in Philadelphia. Of course, it's just so easy to go on your computer and look at docstoyota.com. And they have all of their brand new 2024 inventory listed there. Camrys, Tacomas, 4Runners, Tundras, Highlanders, Corollas, and Priuses.
All things Toyota.
Oh, yes, indeed. And of course, they've got a a very large selection of pre-owned inventory, all been through the rigorous multi-point Toyota inspection process, so you know you're getting a good quality pre-owned vehicle. Check them out online, docstoyota.com, or just take that short drive up to Doc's Toyota on Highway 16 West in Philadelphia. And I tell you what, every dealership has a deal. You get a toaster, a blender, a pressure washer, who knows, all kinds of things you don't need. But what you do need is a great deal. And remember, there is no deal
like a Doc's deal.
Yeah, I was just checking on their website, and they got a Father's Day special right now.
Really?
2.9% APR for 60 months on select new Toyota Tundras for Dad. So
Only for Dad.
Only for
so
Dad.
if Mom wants it. Sorry.
Right.
I have a strong feeling they would make the same deal
I
for
believe
Mom.
so. I believe so. And they've also got a good selection of RAV4s on the website as well. So
Hey.
SUV. So check them out.
Let's go to the phones. We got a caller on the line. Good morning.
Good morning. How you?
What?
Oh, how you doing, Joe?
Unburden yourself.
Well, I'm so glad, my dear sister, that you could tune in and share those burdens. Go ahead and tell us what's on your mind.
Well, I've got to thank the great state of Louisiana. They've just passed a law. Louisiana set to pass bill giving judges option to order surgical castration for sex offenders. And as far as I understand, it has been passed.
It's the Lorena Bobbitt law, is what they call
Yes.
Whatever it is, it needs to be done.
Whatever it is.
So this is what you have to get off your chest?
Oh, there's several more. That's
Oh.
just the beginning.
Are you saddened by this law?
No, not at all. I'm just wondering what it took them so long.
50 states, everybody do it.
Yeah, get the cleaver out.
right.
All right, that's
Okay.
All right.
There's oh, wow, that's interesting. Okay. You know, they do certain ways down there in Louisiana.
That's right.
Hey,
Cajun justice.
but you know, once you put them away, it's time to get rid of the hay. You got it? You understand?
Let's just leave. Yeah. What's the next thing?
Come on.
What's
When did you start being chicken, Roger?
When we start talking about cutting things off, that's when I got chicken. Jeez.
just a little nervous
We're
about this
squirming over
conversation.
here.
That's it.
Okay.
What's the next item that you need to get off your chest there, darling?
Well, I've got some more articles. If you're mad about what happened to Trump, you should be equally outraged at what routinely happened to Mississippi citizens. Unfortunately, we see similar situations unfold throughout Mississippi daily. If you're mad about what happened to Trump, you should be equally outraged. Americans should be protected from prosecutorial outreach. Overreach, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we see similar cases day after day.
Where's this coming from? Where have you observed this?
Look, I get my mail from my messages from all over.
Okay.
This was one that was stated by CNN a day ago, but it came across on a different website. But I'm even shocked that they actually went into it. Prosecutorial overreach? Oh, my God. I'm surprised they had to probably look that up in the dictionary to find out what it means.
Now, usually if CNN is talking about that happening in Mississippi,
yes,
then that means they really may not understand what's going on in Mississippi. So are they purporting it accurately?
They're trying to give Mississippi a black eye. That's why they stated it that way.
Oh, okay.
See, y'all got to understand how all of that works.
Well,
Just like what really made me mad was what I got a message or an email that, what's his name?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say this, and I know nobody's going to like it, but I'm going to say it anyway. The dirty turd, Mr. Benny Thompson, came out after the conviction and said justice was served. Well, of course he's going to say that. He needs to get his constituents in line.
And didn't he also file a motion or something that supposedly would take the
Secret Service protection away from Trump?
Yeah.
That's exactly correct. From convicted felons.
Yep.
That's correct.
Yeah, that's you can see this whole scenario, how it's all working together. And of course, Benny Thompson has been their guy to go to, and unfortunately, he does hail from the state of Mississippi.
Well, yeah, he does, because he's got all the people down here bamboozled on what's going on.
No, he's got all the people in the Delta bamboozled about what's going on.
Well, I just think it's ridiculous. I just, I had a conversation with one of the gentlemen yesterday who came in to the credit union, and he was a black gentleman, and we were talking, and he goes, I just think this whole thing is really ridiculous. And I said, everybody keeps talking about how bad Trump is. I said, and let me explain something to you, sir. I said, as a black man, I said, you need to understand something. I said, you need to protect your future. And he's kind of looked at me. And I said, well, I said, Trump gave the most money to the HBCUs in history, more than Obama or anybody else. And what was the first thing that Biden did? I said, he cut off the funds. I said, if anything, if you're going to vote for Trump for any reason, I said, don't believe the man is prejudiced and he's racist if he gave HBCU so much money.
Now, Joe, back up a minute. Are you talking politics to customers at work?
If they ask, yes, why not? I'm not scared. I told you that already.
Joe, I just don't want you to lose your job. You got a great job there. You're talking...
Let me explain something to you. I am a very open person. If you want to approach me and speak to me, let's talk. If you want to complain about me, I can handle it. I'm a survivor, honey. I'm not a victim. I don't care. I ain't scared. I told y'all that already.
Shingles doesn't care and Joe doesn't care. Okay.
Get the booster.
I'm telling you. Okay, so all right. Okay, I was just, I'm thinking of you, dear. I'm really thinking of you. I just don't want. I want you okay over there.
But Roger, I'm kind of concerned about that philosophy that you have. We have a country that has freedom, a country that has free will that God alone gave us. If somebody's going to approach you and want to talk to you, I don't care where you are. I'm not going to go up to my boss and say, look, this is how I feel and this is what I'm going to push. I'm not going to do that. I'm not that person.
I understand.
But I am the kind of person, if you want to come talk to me and you want to be a big boy, let's talk about it. It's like I used to tell the guys at work all the time. Look, we're all adults in here. I said, we're big boys and girls. I said, if y'all want to behave yourself and have an adult conversation, let's do it. Because what happens in this van stays in this van. I said, if y'all can't behave yourselves and y'all start giving me any trouble, I said, I can deal with that too.
Now you're borrowing a line. Now you're borrowing a line we used in the 70s. What happens in this van stays in this van.
What's going on in the van? What kind of van is this? All right.
Well, those had shag carpet and speakers, and it was really
Joe's van does not.
No,
you don't know that. Oh.
Joe's van did, and Joe's van got named the Passion Pit.
So we went from castration to the Passion Pit. An odd
surgical castration.
You knew all about me. Y'all don't know nothing.
We're getting hints, though. We're creating a picture.
Sounds like we need to have. Well, I don't know. An interesting discussion would be off air with Joe. No question about it.
but probably followed by a few Jägermeisters. That would always do.
If this van's rocking, don't come knocking.
Absolutely.
We just peeled back good memories for Joe. Isn't that great?
Mm-hmm.
If you only knew. If you only knew.
How did we do this? How did this happen? How did this happen?
You're driving the van right now, so.
Oh man.
You never know what I'm going to be talking about, right?
That's a given, Joe. We don't know what we're going to get, except we're always glad to hear from you.
Well, of course. Everybody is.
Yeah. All right. Everybody is.
Well, I got to get to work now. You know, I love y'all. Bye.
Bye. Chunky Joe and or Joe from Chunky, I should say, and Charles Frazier. Two of the best things that New Orleans gave us.
Yeah.
You know, and just that's what you have to realize. Both of these people, the man across from me here, Charles Frazier, and Joe from Chunky, this is what Katrina brought us from the hurricane, and we're just thankful for that. Yep. It just shows you good things come out of bad events.
Okay.
Talk more about the passion pit.
Right. I know. The van.
What happens in this van stays in this van. Mornings in Meridian. Good morning, caller. How you doing?
Good morning, gentlemen.
Hey,
Benny.
Well, you know, I was just listening to Joe talking, and I've got a suggestion. I think the prosecuting attorney from Meridian, Mississippi, needs to bring charges against Joe Biden, the president, because of his breaking the law with letting all these illegal immigrants into our country. And then I want Joe to be the prosecuting attorney, the voice, and I want Hazmat to be the foreman of the jury.
Oh, man.
Sound like a rigged trial.
That is the definition.
Well, no, that's not rigged. That's just a pad and account, you know, not near like they did in New York for the Donald Trump trial.
There you go.
Yeah, make Haz the foreman. Everybody be afraid to go against him.
Well, if they can do it in New York, well, can't we do it in Meridian, Mississippi? It put us on the map then. But anyway, that's just a thought. If they can do it, why can't we do it? So,
Benny, that's a very good observation. And Benny, while I have you here, I seriously want to ask you. According to my calculation, you know, we're coming up on the anniversary of D-Day, and my calculation shows me you were a teenager when that happened. Do you have recollection of that? The reports coming in from that day?
Well, yeah, I do. In fact, I had a brother-in-law that participated in it.
Oh, okay.
And he was in a glider, and they towed him up to altitude, cut him loose, and in that glider they had a Jeep plus, I believe, 12 men. It landed behind the lines, and some of the stories he told me that happened. It was just amazing that he even survived. He said the first thing I did, he said, you know, when I was crawled into my bed sack at night trying to sleep, I had a 45 caliber handgun in my hand, and that was outside. It never went inside the pocket, inside the sleeping bag.
Sleeping with a 45. Wow.
Yeah, and what some officer volunteered to let him confiscate it, and he said I was going to try to take care of number one, and he did. He survived. He had many stories to tell me about that, and one or two other than some of the things my brother went through in the Merchant Marine. But
so you would have been probably when this happened maybe 15, 16?
16. I think I got deferred 6 months to finish school, and then they quit drafting. So I was about 16, I guess, D-Day.
And what was your first knowledge of D-Day when it happened? What was it, a newspaper or a radio report?
It was come over radio.
Yeah.
Mainly on the radio. Yeah.
By the way, folks, a lot of important things come over radio. Just so you know that.
Right.
Yeah. That's the main way we got our news, and then of course the movies had a news reel.
Yeah.
They produced, but of course that wasn't as up to date as D-Day thing was.
Well, I just had to ask that question because I would like to hear from anybody who has recollections of that time, and tomorrow especially when we're talking about it.
Yeah.
Anyway, well, good stuff, Benny. Good to hear from you, my friend.
Good to hear from you, and I hope everyone has a great day.
There you go. Hearing from the mayor of Sucalina there, folks. It's Mornings in Meridian. Lots of good things to talk about on the radio, especially if you need business supplies. We're glad that Billy Adam Calvert joined us yesterday, but he's actually going to be the speaker at Rotary today, so I'll get to hear him again at lunchtime today. Either one of y'all want to go? You want to be my guest?
I got to work. I think it gets in the way of having fun. Sorry.
Yeah, work.
Busy man.
It's called lunch. Working people eat lunch.
It's called what I do is serve lunch.
That's right.
Oh, yeah, that.
That. Okay,
Well,
I understand. That's
now,
right. Yeah, you better be on your
All
job.
right, well, let's talk Southern Business Supply. You know, the easiest thing to go is go to the website, southernbusinesssupply.com. Order all of your office supplies there. What I do is every Monday morning, I look at what I need for the office, and it's always staplers. I don't know why I need so many staplers, but I do. And, of course, paper clips, pens, papers, all that kind of stuff, any notebooks or anything of that variety. All you got to do is point, click, and then it is delivered to my building the next day. Can't beat that. And, of course, you're shopping local as well. And when you buy local, your money stays here in Meridian. Doesn't go out to Amazon or any of those other big box stores that are around. So what you want to do is go to their website, southernbusinesssupply.com, or go see them at their wonderful showroom, 5685 Dale Drive. They've got all kinds of office supplies and office furniture there. So if you're looking for some office furniture, whether for your business office or your home office, they've got it all there as well. That's at 5685 Dale Drive. The website, southernbusinesssupply.com, or just call them, 601-485-2447. Say no to the big box stores and yes to southernbusinesssupply.com.
Just saw a Facebook meme a second ago here, guys. It's a picture of Joe Biden in a Superman costume, and it's got his name on the front.
Oh.
It says, faster than a speeding sloth, dumber than a box of rocks, able to trip upstairs.
I mean, that's how long the flight is.
I love it. Faster than a speeding sloth.
Speeding sloth.
I like the sloths, you know.
I know.
Doesn't like a good sloth.
Well, do you want to know what the next problem we have coming from China?
Is it a virus?
COVID-20?
Well, the Northeast United States this summer is expected to see the flying venomous spider.
Oh,
nice. About the size of a human hand.
Nice. Okay.
It's a new terror just dropped in. Experts say the Joro spider, an invasive species of venomous spider from what country? Say it with me. China.
Oh, China.
Yes.
China.
That's dropped about the size of a human hand, can fly by parasailing from their webs, and should make it to all the way to New Jersey or New York this summer.
Oh,
so we'll have flying spiders crossing the country.
Well,
this
I love
morning.
that. Not just flying spiders, but flying venomous spiders.
Yeah, flying from China. Flying venomous spiders from China.
Coming soon to a courtroom near you. Well, that's nice. Okay, so they're going to get them up in New York. Okay, won't come down here, we hope.
Of course, now experts say that the spiders made it to the United States around 10 years ago on shipping containers that were delivered to, well, they want to say on Georgia, but a group of researchers say the spiders will eventually spread across the entire country, but at least there's some good news. We got some good news about the venomous flying spiders from China.
Size of your hand.
They say the giant flying venomous spider have very weak venom, and their fangs aren't strong enough to pierce human skin.
Oh.
This doesn't mean, though, you're allowed to. This doesn't mean that you're not allowed to freak out when a giant venomous spider lands on you.
You know, the Chinese have a little more style than the North Koreans. The Chinese send us huge flying venomous spiders.
Hand-sized spiders.
You know, what are the North Koreans sending to South Korea? bags of garbage and poops in a balloon. Poop, pretty much.
Don't.
I mean,
maybe
it has a nice touch to it. You know what I mean? Sort of a frat sort of thing.
Like I said, chemical warfare,
yeah,
man.
it's chemical.
Do we know everything that was on that balloon that crossed the country
That's
from
the
China?
question.
Do
We
we
shot
know?
it down. Maybe it could have been a little poop up there.
That
too.
might be national security secret.
Should be, yeah.
We can't tell the
on that
nation.
thing.
We can tell the nation there was all kind of spy. There was spy equipment on the balloon, but we can't tell them there was poop on the balloon.
But I mean, there's just a little more class and kind of panache with the the huge flying venomous spiders, you know, as opposed to balloons with garbage and poop in them.
What we do with the Joe Rowe spider? Send to America.
But you got to give North Korea credit; they're trying anyway. Yeah, okay.
I guess they're trying to save on their missile program. All right, let's take a phone call. Mornings in Meridian. Good morning. How you doing?
Yeah, they send us some spiders and we send them our jobs. This is Hiram GM Coltrane. The GM stands for Great Matter. I was listening to your program the first hour, and I heard you use the term brain thrust. And the more I listened to the program, I said, boy, they sure could use some of that up there.
Yes, indeed.
And by the way, if you get a chance, I'd like to play me a dedication. Goes out from Hazmat. After listening to Joe cutting stuff off, he wants to play The Thrill Is Gone.
No.
Wow. Yeah.
Oh, shots fired.
Surgically gone. Yeah, okay.
Dedication to
Where'd it go?
Now, this was a dedication from Joe to Hazmat?
Yeah.
Or The Thrill Is Gone.
Sponsored by the Passion Pit.
Oh.
Hey, what happens in this van stays in this van.
Well, evidently, there's a lot of stuff going on. We don't want to.
I tell you what.
Time to replace the shock absorber.
Yeah, I don't know. You know, the 70s was about the time that conversion van was. Before there were companies that did van conversions, there were people that were taking just normal panel vans and
converting them,
dressing them up and putting furniture and speakers and back then shag carpeting, whether it was of the olive green variety or the bright orange variety, it was or purple actually variety.
You seem to know a lot about it.
I was there. I lived it.
Okay.
Yeah. I wasn't.
like
I wasn't. I
so,
wasn't at Normandy in '45, but 44. Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
45, 44.
But I was. I was in the '70s. I was there. I lived it.
Okay.
Glad you're out there, folks. You too can be part of the show. 601-485-9191. Good morning, caller. How you doing?
I'm doing fine.
Welcome to our show.
Sorry about blowing up your phone there at near 9. I was trying to get in. You had the guest on about state government.
Oh, you're talking about yesterday? Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Yeah. I kept getting the busy signal and kept redialing. I don't know what that means on your end.
I don't know either. We should have been able to let you in because we had some callers call in and ask Billy Adams some questions yesterday.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I heard all that. I was trying to comment on that.
All right. You are free to comment on the airwaves now.
Well, also, you guys were mentioning that Bruce Dern shot John Wayne. You recall that?
Yeah, yeah. Roger said that. Right.
Well, if he would have missed, Alec Baldwin would have shot him.
Oh. Shots
Well,
fired.
I wanted to mention the Ethics Commission and having had a hearing before them and knowing some of the personalities that make up the commission board. I think that's a loaded deck, and they also, if they're going to take a case from someone, they need to provide the individual or group that has the interest in a ruling or judgment, the rules of the court. If you don't know the rules, you can't play the game. And I just think it reeks of good old boy politics, having been there and done that. And next, I wanted to share with you that I had sent an email, 2 sentences, to Newsmax this morning.
Mm-hmm.
And this is concerning Biden using the lawfare and showing up regularly with comments about Trump being a convicted felon.
Right.
There is a thing called Words Matters, this global progressive handbook on manners. It's an update, say, from Ms. Manners and Amy Vanderbilt about names to use to be polite. And, for example, the Biden administration has directed the U.S. Department of Homeland Security officials to stop using the term alien and illegal alien for persons without immigration documents. Now, criminals, felons, and convicts should be referred to as justice-impacted persons. But
justice-impacted persons.
That's right. But opportunity has knocked, and Biden refers to Trump as a convicted felon. Words matter.
There you go. You cannot. I like that.
Thank you.
That's how you beat somebody at their own game, supposedly. That's good.
Exactly. That's a good point, and it's time to go to the half-hour break, right?
Well, we blew through that a long time ago, but we do need to take that break. But thank you for noticing anyway.
Well, thank you.
And always thank you for listening, and thank you for contributing to our show.
Have a wonderful day.
You as well, sir.
Goodbye.
All right, there you have it. They're very cordial, very nice. Well, we take a minute to thank the folks at Purvis Business Machines for just providing great quality business products to our businesses here in Meridian and the surrounding area for, well, can we just say like 45 years?
Mm-hmm. Exactly 45 years. That's right. Jerry and Betty Purvis started Purvis Business Machines back in 1979. Jerry was in the military, retired, and then started that up. So we've got a veteran-owned business. We always like to support those especially. And, of course, they've got these lease return color copiers there. You can save up to 85% on those. It's like paying just 15% of retail. But the big thing about Purvis is connectivity. They will connect all of your devices to that printer, scanner, copier, and it's seamless. You don't have to do anything. They'll come in and set it all up for you. And, of course, all you need to do is to go to their website, gopurvis.com, see them at their wonderful showroom at 4505 Highway 39 North, or call them. It's just that easy, 601-693-COPY. See what they did there? COPY?
Yeah, I like that. Very
so
good.
Smart. 601-693-COPY, gopurvis.com, 4505 Highway 39 North. That's Purvis Business Machines, service, not excuses, since 1979.
All right, with that, we'll take a break. We'll come back. Stay with us for more of Mornings in Meridian. right. Yeah. Speaking of shag carpeting and vans from the 70s.
Rockin' van.
How about Sly and the Family Stone? I want to thank you for letting me be myself again. Freddie Stone, 77 years old today. Welcome back to Mornings in Meridian. Roger along with Rob.
Hello.
And it's just fun to play this music around old people, watch their heads bob up and down. It's really fun. And Charles Frazier's in the house here with us.
Was I bobbing my head?
No, you're not old people.
Oh, okay. I didn't know where you were.
No, you're not old. Oh. Even though your beard is very gray, you're not old. Young man, graying early, premature.
No, I don't think so. All right.
Anyway, moving right along there. It's Mornings in Meridian. Of course, we've got a caller on the line. Stand by, caller. We're going to just take a quick mention of our good friends down there at the Magnolia Restaurant, because everybody knows where to go, needs to know where to go get a good breakfast, lunch, dinner, midnight snack, just whenever you're going to eat. Guess what? You don't have to worry about the hours. They're always open.
Never closed. That's exactly right. The Magnolia Restaurant inside the Queen City Truck Stop, exit 150. You know where they are. And, of course, they've got the long-haul breakfast. If you're a long-haul truck driver, that will keep you going all day long. Even if you're not a long-haul truck driver, you can enjoy it. They don't check your ID or anything like that before you order it. And, of course, today, Wednesday, we got chicken and dumplings.
Whoa.
Homemade. Man, can't beat that. Of course, fried chicken, the hamburger steak, fried or grilled pork chops. You know, if you're given an option of fried or grilled, you got to go with the fried, always. It's a Southern thing. And the veggie plates, chicken tenders. And what's great about that is you can get something to go. Just order, and they'll have it ready for you. Pick up. It's quicker than fast food and much, much, much better. All made in-house. Give them a call, 601-482-0259 to get that to-go order. The service is fast and friendly, and the air conditioner is hot. Or the air conditioner is cold.
Not me.
The coffee's hot. So confused. Just go eat there.
Bless
the Magnolia Restaurant inside the Queen City Truck Stop, exit 150.
In the words of Toby Bates, I want something on my plate that had fear in its heart before it died.
Ooh, mercy.
Oh,
there you go.
Chicken and dumplings had fear.
Well, at least the chicken part did.
The chicken did. The dumplings didn't. But
I want some of that scared chicken. It's like,
tastes better with a little fear. Okay.
Oh, man. Right. That's good.
Well,
Go to the Magnolia Restaurant, folks. That's the important word there. That's the main thing you need to know. All right, let's take a phone call here at Mornings in Meridian. Good morning, caller. Welcome to our show.
MAGA morning, true American patriots.
Well, MAGA morning.
MAGA.
Speaking of 1970s vans.
Your cup of Joe this morning?
We got our stiff cup of Joe this morning.
A double cup. It's like a double espresso.
Yes, we did.
I had a little fantasy dream in my mind when I was listening to her talk.
Be careful. Be careful. Family show.
Family friendly.
That little tie with Marjorie Taylor Greene and old Horseface AOC. Can you imagine Joe? I imagine Joe wouldn't have gone with baby girl. I believe Joe would have mopped the deck with her. You know? And I still say they need to dress her out like a dummy mommy with a spike collar and all black leather and give her like a lash LaRue bull whip.
He said dummy mommy.
He said dummy mommy.
Republican whip.
Oh, God.
Yeah. We're going to do it my way. Y'all are going to man up.
Changes the meaning of the term whip in Congress, I guess.
Oh, absolutely.
Paz, did you hear what Joe called the van earlier? The what would we call it? The passion pit.
Passion pit.
The passion pit.
Yeah, the 1970s van with the shag carpet on the inside.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The passion pit.
Oh, Paz is going to reminisce
Well,
now.
you know.
With the newly installed Pioneer speakers.
Oh yeah. I remember when that was all the rage. You know, everything goes through cycles, like the hippie bus. You know, the old Volkswagen bus, and you know, and they're like little milestones in time. But I love to listen to her because she cuts the wolf free now.
Yeah.
And like I said, she's from New Orleans. She ain't scared.
No, she's not scared. That's for sure.
And I you know, that's where we got to get. We got to get some passion in our action Quit being mealy-mouthed and, well, I don't want to offend somebody. Well, to hell with them. You got a right to believe and say what you want to believe. The other side don't have a problem with it. They're in the streets, they're in your ear, they're on the media, and they're screaming and hollering. They'll scream and holler back at them. Don't let them intimidate you, and we're going to have a high mall road, and you're going to go to hell watching it too. Leave that stuff for a debate somewhere. No, you fight fire with fire. The enemy gets down and dirty. Guess what? You get down and dirtier. Put some force multipliers to it.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, but this Hunter Biden deal. Can you look at that? Oh my God. That whole deal up there is just as comical as the monarchy in England. We fought a war to get away from all that mess. I think people in America care more about that than the English do even. But that whole monarchy thing is elitist, high-class white trash.
Ooh.
Elitist, high-class white trash.
And we've been trying for so long to get King Charles to come on the show. I don't think he's going to come on now.
There goes that idea.
Shoot. It's just comical the way that
maybe
stuff
Megan will
plays
come
out.
on.
But, look at the world, what they're seeing in Washington, D.C. Now, that's got to be bringing laughs in Russia and China and Iran and everywhere else. And in the debate, can you imagine? Man, he's going to be pumped. They're going. If he can stay awake that long, well, Trump, all he's got to do is just last him through about the first 10 minutes, and he'll stumble and just go down in flames. Trump is ready. Trump stays ready, but they're going to be. I guess he'll have cue cards in his hand and pictures of the reporters and.
Well, this time has he's not going to need cue cards because he's already got his word. It's going to be convicted felon. Look at my opponent, convicted felon. Donald Trump, convicted felon. Look at the convicted felon.
Well, the only reason you're not a convicted felon and impeached is you got these candy-ass Republicans.
Well,
we can't get it through the Senate. We could. I don't care if it don't even get out the door, man. Put it out in front of the American people. Take the battle to the enemy. Show some courage, and take off your silk panties and put you some jockey shorts on.
Okay, and be careful.
Yeah. But the Republicans are just as bad. Most of them are just as bad as some of the demon cats. If they're not willing to engage.
Well, I guess I could kind of understand you not taking on a battle you can't win until you have, say, for example, the majority of the House. And that's the thing.
Wait till the second coming.
Well, I think people need to pay attention to the races. I'd like to see how many House and Senate races are up for grabs this election cycle because while we're sitting here focused on the circus that the Democrats are providing for us, what's going on? And Rob, you're very good at reminding us about, when you see something here, what's going on over here?
Yeah.
That's exactly right. It's smoke and mirrors, man. It's distraction.
Well, I mean,
what's going on while they have the Hunter Biden deal and the Trump, all that other kind of mess? What's happening in the shadows?
Yeah.
That we never hear about. Just like local here, same thing. Local, state, federal. How much corruption? How much crime? How much everything goes on? While we focused on some Mickey Mouse sports or some little trivial stuff like that. That's not going to affect your life in the future, whether your football team wins or not.
Well, let me just play. Well, you're talking about football. Let's talk about fantasy football. What would you want them to do first time if Donald Trump is elected president and by some miracle the Republicans are a majority in the House and Senate? What's the first thing you'd like to see them do?
First thing I'd like to see them do is secure this country, build that wall, round these illegal alien criminal invaders up, and prosecute these people that are harboring them, these sanctuary states that are in violation of constitutional law. Put the bricks on the ground and build the wall the first day.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And put troops down there. We put troops all over the world to secure other people's interest in property.
Yeah, that's
put
true.
them on our borders.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I'm a fairly old dog, you know, but I'm not a dead dog. And if Trump wants me on that border, send the black helicopter, Donnie. I'm ready to go.
We could have 1,000-mile long military base from California all the way to Texas.
Well, they train all the time for war.
Yeah.
Are we not at a state of war?
Yeah, there you go.
And they were talking about that Judge Alito flying the flag upside down, the American flag upside down.
Mm-hmm.
Well, these ignorant wretches don't realize that is an international distress symbol. And if America now is not in a state of distress, if we don't need divine intervention now, when are we going to need it? How bad does it have to get?
Mm-hmm. There you go.
Yeah, Roger that.
There we go. Thank you. Appreciate that. You too can call in at 601-485-9191. 601-485-9191. Got a couple minutes left.
Dommy mommy.
That's your takeaway.
Yeah, that was the gem. Hidden gem.
That's your takeaway from this conversation.
I like it.
Sorry, I just got stuck on that one for some reason.
Let's see. We have from him, Dommy Mommy, and then we've got from her the Passion Pit.
The Passion Pit with a Dommy Mom. Whoa, put them together. Uh-oh.
No. Well, we do have
stay
time to
family
thank Gary Barber and his team down there at Barber and Son Plumbing. We've always said, you know, it's just easier. Be easy on yourself. Make it easy for you. When you have a plumbing problem, take a picture of it, take it down to Barber and Son Plumbing. Let Gary not only find the part you need to fix it, he'll also give you a lesson in plumbing to tell you how to fix it so that you can go back home and appear to your wife that you are just as smart as can be.
That's right. Keep her fooled.
That's right. Go to
Well, Gary can help you fool your wife. Well, this is getting weird.
Wow. Okay. Sort of like that, but
Sort of,
go to
but
Barber and Son Plumbing.
That's right. He has an encyclopedic knowledge of all things plumbing. He knows every part. He's got most of them in stock. All you have to do, as Roger said, is take a picture of that part, or if you got the part off, bring it down there, and he will have that part in stock. If he doesn't, he'll have it to you in just a couple of days, and he will give you detailed instructions on how to replace it. I mean, step by step. It's just that easy. Of course, they will also come out to your home or business and do repairs as well. So all you got to do is call them, 601-482-7023, or go see them, 1123 26th Avenue. They've been in business for over 80 years.
80.
Man, that is a long time. I think they invented plumbing at this point. Barber and Sons Plumbing, 1123 26th Avenue, 601-482-7023.
All right. Well, we've got a couple minutes left. Rob, anything we need to announce that's coming up this weekend that you know of?
Well, I just actually, real quick, guys, just noticed a story that Arizona Republican Party has filed a lawsuit against the Secretary of State after allegedly discovering between 500,000 and 1.3 million illegal voters on the voter rolls in Arizona, including dead people and non-residents.
Dead people can't vote.
Yeah, well, that's the best voting block for the Democrats, right?
There you
so,
go.
but so expect more of these type of things to happen in some. Yeah, that kind of story develops out there in Arizona because there is a big Senate race in Arizona coming up this fall. Carrie Lake, of course, she ran for governor of Arizona at one point and lost by a slim margin. She's running for that Senate seat right there in Arizona. So that's a big one right there to watch.
Yeah, and I've been watching some activity in northern Israel. A lot of Hezbollah rockets hitting cities up there, and the Israelis are contemplating a response. So that war may develop into a new front, and it looks like it will because it's a constant barrage of rockets coming down from Beirut, so or Lebanon, and so that's one to monitor as well.
All right. Also, want to say coming up on June 7th, which would be Friday, at Bonita Lakes, starting at 10 o'clock, it'll be the Run for Croom.
Hey.
And so the district attorney said, assistant district attorney said, asked me to promote this and to let everybody know that it'd be a chance to come out and support law enforcement and do something good for your community. It starts at 10 a.m. on the 7th at Bonita Lakes. It's a run or walk for Croom.
I like it.
Welcome to Croom.
We'll talk about that
Good
more
stuff.
tomorrow.
All right.
With that, say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye, everybody, and bye, local.